It's one of those unique days when you're down at the beach in the middle of summer and there's no swell and nice wind. So I thought I'd have a crack with the micro jigs. I've got my Daiwa Hyper 8'6", 2 to 5 rod, so it's a really light rod for the size. And I've got a Nasky 3000 with 10 pound braid, and I think I had 10 pound leader as well. So I started off using a Jig Para 10 gram micro jig. I think it was in a colour which they call red gold. So I was just basically casting out as far as I can, and I was hopping it down around some reefy structure I knew was around there. With the micro jigs, you're always playing that little bit of a tricky game if you're casting next to reef, but that's where you're going to pick up the fish. Or in gutters as well. So this little 10 gram micro jig did pretty well on the herring when they were around. I didn't have any burley to keep them around, but I managed to get quite a few, which I used for a failed slide baiting expedition the next day. After that, I chucked on a 7 gram micro Maniac. I think I picked this up from Tackle West. It was within their new sort of micro jig range. This one was in, I think it was white bait basically, and it worked really well. It's funny, I was picking up the fish really close to shore. It was only about 3 to 4 metres out. It was high tide though, so it dropped off pretty quickly there. So lovely chopper trailer. I was basically casting him out as far as I could again, and then I was hopping him in. It took me a little bit to try and sort of work out the pattern. I'm sure you could have ripped him in as well and they would have hit it, but I'm sort of just letting it sink. Then I give it a couple of hops, wind in, probably a little bit faster than it would in usual circumstance, just because there's a bit of reef around. I didn't want to get jagged up. But these choppers were loving it. Next time I do this, if it's this calm conditions, I'd probably use 4 pound braid so I could get a little bit further casting distance and really feel the light lure as well. With the 10 pound, I had a little bit of trouble sort of tracking it in the wash. But yeah, I think 4 pound, if you know it's going to be flat conditions like this with maybe 8 to 10 pound leader, would have probably been a little bit preferred, but this still worked, just I guess a little bit harder to hit your rhythm. Good old summer tailor. It's like usual with tailor, they sort of hit for about 20 minutes in a row and then it died off a little bit afterwards. I had a little assist hook at the top of the micro jig as well, and this got bitten off in I think the second or third fish. So if there's tail around, it's probably pretty risky to use these little micro jigs, but they're about $10, so it's pretty good fun for $10. Beautiful sunset as well. For more Taylor and Perth Metro videos, please subscribe. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments section.